Hello there and welcome. Welcome. We are doing another video for you. I have another good one for you today. This is our January of 2021 weekly series. We are focusing on the Jar of Flowers bundle, as you can see here. Today we will be using our sunflower stamp. And because our stamp set itself does not have any sentiments, I've chosen to also incorporate the December 2019 Something for Everything stamp set. So this is part of a series. We will be using these two stamp sets interchangeably all month long. So here's a sample of our card. And if you would like to visit my website, stampinwithfaith.stampinup.net, to purchase your supplies, here is this month's host code where you can do that. Again, I'll show you the card we're going to be making for this month. I have all my pieces and parts ready. Let me go ahead and give you the supplies that I used so that you can take a screenshot of that as well. And that should be, and you should have, I'm sorry, let me make sure I'm on the right one. They look different for some reason. That's the one you need. And I will do, I thought I had the measurements up here, but it doesn't look like it's safe. So my apologies. We'll just go through them together. It's going to be really, really simple. This is a really easy card. So we have a standard card base here that measures 8.5 by 5.5. It is scored at 4 1/4. So let me show you guys that. So again, just a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5. This is a score line at 4 1/4. These were actually Memories and More cards that were cut down. Have a coordinating envelope, also from that same Memories and More. This is Night of Navy color, if you want to use the same color. You could also use Misty Moonlight. That would work here as well. And this is our In Color Bumblebee, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. And we are going to just simply mount that. And actually, let me go ahead and do that part first. Well, actually, let's go over our parts since the measurements did not save. I thought I had all that saved. I do apologize. Okay, so this piece measures 3/4 by 4. And this piece measures 1/2 inch by 3 3/4. And then we have our Designer Series paper. That piece is going to measure 3 by 3 3/4. And this paper comes from the Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper. We have just a scrap of basic white. We're going to, oh no, I'm sorry, this is not. This is a piece measuring 3 3/4 by 2. It's going to be the top of our card. That's going to be this piece here. I have the second largest basic shape circle in basic white. And then I have the third largest in Designer Series paper from that Flowers for Every Season. But this is the Bumblebee color. And then I do have 2 scraps, one of Bumblebee, and this one, I believe this is actually soft suede. So really, that's it. And I, of course, have our stamp already mounted for us. So let me go ahead and get started. This card today is going to be very, 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 very simple. All right, so I want to start with our stamping just to get that out of the way. So I'm going to be stamping a focal of this sunflower right here. So when you look at your sunflower stamps, you kind of see this one looks a little smooshed on the edge, but then this one isn't covered at all. This is the one we're going to focus on. So that is going to be this one here. If you need to tear a little corner of your postie to kind of just set over that image, just so you know which is the flower you're focusing on, that's a great idea. So let's see, let's do You're the Best. I just got to find it on here. These go in different directions, so here it is. All right, so I'm going to grab my You're the Best. And then I am going to stamp that on my basic white rectangle. I'm going to bring in our sample here. I stamped it off to one side towards the top, and I'm going to do the same here. There we go. Perfect. Now, while I have that basic gray out, I'm going to stamp that basic gray. I'm going to get that in there twice. Just remember, I'm only focusing on that one flower. The rest of the stamp doesn't matter. I'll put that on my bumblebee, and that stamped it very well. And I did the same on my soft suede. Close up that ink so we don't get our fingers in it, although I already have. Okay, now I'm going to grab my paper cutting scissors. And the first thing I'm going to do is grab that soft suede, and I'm just going to cut it out. Cut out just that center. So, not being too fussy with it. Remember to move your paper, not your scissors. So there's my centerpiece. And then now I'm going to do the same with my flower. I'm going to do a rough cut first, making sure I don't cut into the flower itself. What that does is, for me, I have ADD, so it removes all that background. And then now I can just simply focus on going around, and I'm cutting out that flower now. This is probably going to be the longest part, so let me tell you, while I'm cutting this flower, that currently in the month of January is Celebration. I do meet with my class it is a club. We meet every Thursday in a private Facebook meeting room, and we meet at 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you do want to join me there on Facebook, you can reach me at stampinwithfaith@yahoo.com and let me know that you're interested in joining one of my classes. Otherwise, I am going to be making these same cards live with you the Tuesday after our class. So starting next week. And on the Tuesday after our class, we will craft them live on Facebook together. So you have 3 ways to get them. You will be able to get them live in my in-person class. That's the first place. VIPs come first. Then you will be able to watch replays on YouTube, but your live versions will be on Facebook on Tuesdays. All right, so there I have cut out the sunflower piece itself. All right, so now let's pull that in. I'm so glad that you guys are able to find me. Now, if you aren't watching this live, please leave me a comment below that lets me know that you're watching the replay, just hashtag replay. If you are watching this on YouTube, which you probably are, don't forget also to hit that subscribe and like button so that I know that this is content you like, but also subscribe to my channel so that YouTube can notify you when I upload new videos, because I have been uploading 2 videos per week. So we're going to set our sample aside. We're going to bring in the rest of our pieces and parts, and I think we're done with stamping. We didn't have any coloring to do. We let the paper do all the coloring for us. So we're going to take all our bits and bobs and set aside. And then I'm going to put some adhesive here on my bumblebee page. That will get layered here. Then we are going to put in our basic white. Still getting used to calling it basic white. I'm still used to seeing Whisper White, but they have changed companies now that makes the white paper due to COVID. The other company is no longer able to supply us with paper. They did go out of business. All right, so now with this one, the way that it's cut, you got to remember there is going to be a gap between this edge here and the top edge of your paper. So let's bring it down. So you want to, what I do is I eyeball the corner. When I have just as much space on the left side as I do the bottom, and then I do make sure I have the same with the right, that's where I line it up. I'm not worried about this seam because we're about to fix that. So we're just going to layer the blue strip on that Night of Navy strip, and I went too far over the edge, so I'm just going to lightly and carefully separate the 2 layers. Again, it hasn't had time enough to really adhere too much. There we go. And then now we are going to put adhesive back here. I did go with 2 layers just because that is going to want to curl. Okay, and we're almost done, you guys. Now I'm going to take my flower that we fussy cut and put that on my basic white layer. I'm going to layer that onto my bumblebee layer. Now, if you don't like the fact that the bumblebee layer seems to be a lot larger than your basic white, then you can switch over and use one of your scallop circle dies. I'm just going to add some dimensionals on the back of here. And then you're just going to find where you think that flower, which direction it should turn. It's not necessarily directional at all, but whatever you think you like the best. And I put that kind of little off center there on the right. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all there was to this week's card. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. I'm going to give it a good crease with Mr. Hobnobs, my bone folder there. And there you have it. So here was our original. I added a piece of bumblebee in color ribbon here. I did not add that here, so it's not, you don't have to. Let me actually look in the drawer. Excuse me. Here we go. We'll do this. So on the original, we had ribbon. Here we have some of the In Color 2022 enamel dots. And then I'm just going to put 3 of them right along that strip where earlier I placed the ribbon. And that finishes it off. I hope you liked our tutorial. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I am here twice a week with tutorials. We have some new things coming up for 2021. Some really great content videos that we are going to be doing. So stay tuned, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.